Morning. Henry McClure live here in the Glass Houses studio, which is part of the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate. We're going to start off with a reminder that I've got a couple of spaces that I need to lease down here on 29th Street. And you can see my sign in front of it. Look for the MCRE sign. But now let's talk about politics. And the further I dig into this and get to know really what's going on, it becomes more and more amazing. And a lot of people, here's one thing that you don't understand, I don't really think you're getting to see it, is that Go Topeka has taken away my ability to make a living to a certain extent. And this is where what I'm saying is that I get all wound up and rant and rave because it's hurting me personally. It's actually hurting anybody in the commercial real estate business that's on the outside of Go Topeka and the chamber. Now, those that are connected to it, hey, they get the leads. They know they're part of the system. I'm not. I refuse to pay to play. You can say, well, Henry, just pony up. Just pony up. But I don't think it's fair when we're dealing with taxpayer money. The sales tax money, who was originally designed to attract businesses here, to grow the population, put in infrastructure so deals could come here. And look, after all the corporate welfare that we gave Mars, Walmart, Target, Bimbo, Home Depot, all that corporate welfare, we're still faced with the exact same problems of homelessness, mental health issues, drug problems, a shrinking population. You know, when the head of the chamber up there, old Matt Pravarnak, you know, when the rats start jumping ship, you know there's no future. They built this whole Greater Topeka partnership to keep him here. And God bless him, he made a better deal out in, and he's a good guy, and Wendy, they're nice folks. Hell, I sold them their house. Hey, I'm happy because I made money. But that's part of what, that's what America's all about. You know, the original people, we came here for a brighter future, not to get free stuff. You know, those of us that work every day and try to make a living, you know, we are the ones that want an even playing field and uniformity when it comes to deal making. So if all the leads that come into the community go to Topeka, and they sit up there in their building and they don't distribute the leads, you know, and really what's interesting, I've had so many people also tell me that they go to the planning department and just, no, not interested in that deal here in Topeka. But imagine how many deals that have come to Topeka that we don't know about. And look, just out of the blue, like in the old-fashioned days, hey, call the mayor. Let's see what he says. Imagine the ability to actually be in the pipeline of information. Wouldn't that be interesting to be able to share that with the community? You know, some lady said last night, you know, too much of your spiel here is about economic development. Well, don't you think our community needs economic development? We got to stop giving the money to the millionaires and put more money into the streets. Streets, fresh water, safety, fire, and police. And we really got to start looking at Topeka and Shawnee County as one community. And that's one thing that's very frustrating. Last night my opponent said that he doesn't see a consolidated government ever happening in this community. Well, with that attitude, he'll make sure it won't happen. And what I at least want to do is have a citizens commission that citizens are on it, the stakeholders in government are on it, and Robert Williams is helping me put together a citizens commission. I appreciate that. Man, that guy's a hard charger. He says something about wishing I had, he goes, I wish I had your energy level. And I go, he is a force to be reckoned with. But we've got to start letting the people decide. These guys all up here on the board are making too many bad decisions on our behalf. And I'm going to start off right now with our city manager over here. He should not be on the board of Go Topeka. It's a conflict of interest. And the fact that he voted to give $9.5 million to Cody Foster in the AT&T building is proof in the pudding why he should be terminated from our city. He's the guy. So the whole design of the city manager council form of government is to keep him out of the fray. Well, being on the board of Go Topeka and giving money to the fat cats, he might as well just go back to Texas. Which brings up another thing. The old city manager of Texas is a Topeka boy. And we ought to really dig into this. We ought to get the research. I'd like to get him on the Henry McClure live show, come in and make a podcast. But it's interesting. There's this, perception's reality, right? So there's this cloak of wrongdoing. So the mayor or the city manager is basically ousted. The assistant city manager, next thing you know, he's our city manager. What's really going on? And I'm not going to really talk about Avery today, but there was something really weird about what happened up in Oregon and knowing our city manager. And so when we look at Go Topeka, and hey, look, this is $125 million. Where did it really go? And I'd really like to, because right now, what they're doing right now is they're just giving money back to themselves. And how does Rhiannon now sell it? Well, you come to Topeka because, look, my mom is the director of real estate for a guy that doesn't have to pay his taxes. So we've got ends with this guy and all his money, and then look, we'll figure out how to get you. Look, we just gave this guy $9.5 million on a layup. If you guys don't see the corruption, so you've got Rich Eckert, the illustrious attorney of the council. You've got Kevin Cook, who's a really, really a mean person. He owes the passenger in my car when he snapped at me, and I really got to see the true Kevin Cook and what he's all about. And then so you've got two members of the county on the board at Go Topeka, employees, the county councilor, and Kevin Cook, they're JETO members, and and really the way I look at Rich Eckert and Braxton, they're kind of like the same guys. They kind of get it come and go. they're part of the deep state, well, I'm going to be the county councilor for a little while, then I'm going to go to work for Bettis, and then maybe Bettis found out that he really wasn't whatever, all he cracked up to be. But he comes back. So, and like Braxton, these guys can just come and go from the city because you know what you're buying. It's like, so then now let's talk about our city manager over here that really just needs to go home to Texas. And then our mayor. Oh, the mayor of the year. Decided by the League of Municipalities, who my opponent is the lobbyist for. But there's no connection between all that. So you've got 4 government people on the board of Go Topeka that are voting to give money inappropriately. So at what point in time does the non-government organization, the NGO, the 501(c), become a government organization? How many people do you have to have on the board before it turns into... You're live on the Henry McClure live show, so why don't I finish this segment and then give you a call back? Okay. All right, thank you. So, think about it. Let's think about really what's going on in this town. And it's like the longer I'm staying in this thing, the more things that are wrong pop up. And we're letting it happen. The first thing, the minute Go Topeka stopped really producing deals, I don't know who the last one was, maybe Bimbo Bakery, the corporate welfare. But today, you guys, sales tax, I pay sales tax. We pay over $3.5 million. So Go Topeka can have a bunch of interns working for them. It's like their first jobs because they're being groomed. They are being groomed to take jobs within the county or the city, or larger employees take them on, as payback to the system. But so today, I question whether Go Topeka isn't just a government organization with as amount of many people they have on the board that vote for it. So you've got 4 out of 25 board members. I'm going to get the bylaws to the research department. I'll make a Cora request for the bylaws. And I tell you what's totally wrong is their voting system. So I do know the city manager, he confessed that to me over a cup of coffee, that he voted to give the $9.5 million of sales tax just to enrich a local millionaire. He's the guy, he's supposed to be the voice of reason. Hey, I need the money to, and that guy's got no backbone. Have you heard him, like at city council? Well, what's your opinion on it? Well, whatever the council says. Well, that's not a city manager that I want. I've lived in different cities. I've met a lot of city managers, and these guys are business guys. They know how to run something. And if he's not the guy standing up and saying, hey, that $9.5 million's mine. I need that money. I've got all these roads to fix. I've got all the other things that were on the ballot that I need to fix. if you guys, you're going to get the Topeka you deserve. Either I'm going to go in and try to stop some of the very stupid things going on and try to change things. Let's have a simpler government. You know, maybe Brett Kell doesn't need to drone on about things, and maybe we don't need to have let the vote be. Hey, let's just let the vote. We don't need all this discussion. We'll just vote, and we'll know how you voted. But there should never be a untabulated vote at the board of directors that go to Topeka. And so today, and this is going to take the attorney general or the district attorney or the federal government to come in and sort all this out. It's what it's going to take. And we got to stop hiding behind, the wolf in sheep clothing. Hey, yeah, boy, they did all these good things. Well, just because they did all the good things doesn't mean you get one bad. No, the taxpayers shouldn't be paying so our millionaires can live better. No, you guys got to learn. I've made a living working people, getting people to pay rents and having deals that are profitable in the real estate business. And so I pick dealing with wealthy people. It's one way to ensure you get paid. But I got some stuff to do today, and but I'm telling you, if I'm the mayor, I'm a no vote on our city manager being number one. I would figure out a way to insist that he resign from the board of Topeka, or go to Topeka, and I would also make sure that his contract is not renewed. I don't want to pay him a golden parachute, but I don't want him to. He knows how to run the city himself. What's the first thing the guy does? Well, he's got Braxton and Avery at the tune of $400,000 each to do his work. And he sits back and says, well, look, I'm just going to do whatever the council says. And the very first chance he has the right to do something smart, like say, no, you can't give that money to the millionaire. I need that money for the streets. This whole thing is broken. Hey, I'm just one vote. But here's the thing. With Henry McClure Live telling you what's going on, well, it will help you decide who you put in to work with me. And if we can get our Citizens Commission up and going, we can at least have a discussion out in public about our forms of government. Look, our sheriff is voted in. We've already got 3 people that are voted in countywide. Our clerk, our treasurer, and our sheriff. So those are 3 people that I feel need to be on the governing body. Now, what I love about Brian Hill, he's a hard charger. He's got bullets in his body. But man, what a better guy to advise and consent to our our police chief and our police force. Our treasurer, Susan, can manage the money. She's our banker, so let her manage the money countywide. And Brenda, who's an awesome clerk, can run for clerk. So there's ways to do this thing and make government simpler. There really is. And that was one of the things they were asking me. I understand Robert's Rules of Order, and I understand, there's a calm side to me. You don't see it a lot because I get all worked up about all this stuff. But you need somebody that's willing to stand up to guys like Jim Klossman and Cody Foster. You know, the guys that I've dealt with in my life are a lot bigger than both those guys. Well, I've got stuff to do. I need your vote. Henry McClure Live in Topeka, Kansas, coming to you live from the Glass Houses studio. And also, hey, if you ever want a forum, I'll put you on the show. If nobody's told you they love you, I love you.